Hey guys, what's up? So last week after I uploaded my video on Egypt, some of you did ask me how much I spent overall in Egypt. So what I did was I went to Instagram and I posted a question asking people how much they thought I spent on my 14-day Egypt tour, and I got answers from 9,000, from 10,000, from 15, and some went up to 30. So I was like, wow, people actually have no clue how much it actually costs to go on a tour, to travel. So I've decided to make this video just to let you guys in on how much I've spent in Egypt for 14 days, down to every penny. So guys, what I've decided to do to make the video less longer, I've decided to group the costs so that I don't have to list them one by one. So I've grouped them like transport, food, tour, flights, things like that. So the video will be shorter and all the costs will be grouped together to make it easier. If you need more information on how I got to that amount, you can just message me and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. So I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So first things first, the actual tour. So I chose the 14-day King Ramses tour, which was on special when I actually bought it. It was around 15,000 rand, somewhere there, but I got it for 2 for 1. Thank you Lunje Drombi for coming with. So I paid about 7,750. That was the half price. The second big spend for me was the flights. I flew with SAA domestically, and internationally I flew with Egypt Air, but I booked the actual ticket through SAA. I don't know if you can still do that. So I paid about 8,923 rand 15 cents. Told you guys, down to the last penny. So it's about 9,000 rand. I booked that I think 2 months before I left, somewhere in May. For transport, I've spent about 786 rand. That's nothing, right? So transport includes my Uber from home to the airport, Ubers in Egypt. We went to dinners, we went to lunch, we went to Cairo Stadium when South Africa was playing with Egypt. So we took an Uber to the airport. So Ubers in Egypt, and the other expense that I have is snacks, food and drinks. I've spent about 1,474. I don't know if this is actually correct. I think I've spent more than that, but this is according to the expenses that I remember, my bank statements as well, you know, like going out with friends, dinner, lunch. So, you know, although breakfast and lunch and some of the dinners are included, there were some days, you know what, I think this might actually be correct. But anyway, I'll work with that because that's what I got from my bank statements and from what I can remember. The other category of expenses is activities and markets. Going to the market, buying souvenirs, activities like riding a camel, going to snorkel, you know, things like that. That came to 2,104 rand. I don't know how I spend more on activities than on food, but that's it. I bought a SIM card when I got to Egypt, so that cost me about 295. It was for me and Lunje, and it included data, like 20 gigs of data and some minutes, and it was actually worth it to get that much, so I don't have to worry about data, because I was actually uploading every day, so I didn't want to worry about like how do I even buy 5 gigs of data. So the other category of expenses that I have are essentials. I don't know why I call them essentials, but I wrote essentials, and that includes my sunscreen, my water bottles, my new bags, and you know, things like that, like the necessary stuff. I don't know if I should actually call them essentials, but you get the idea of what it is. So I've spent about 450 rand on that. Yeah, it wasn't that bad actually. So the other category of expenses associated with this trip was clothes. I bought a couple of clothes, like some shorts, some shirts. Basically, I wanted to buy a couple of new things that people haven't seen yet. I don't know if that's just the way I think, or everybody does it, but yeah. So I've spent about 1,700 rand. I bought two new shorts, two new shirts, some sandals, some other vests, yeah, a couple of other things. So another category of expenses that I had was the entrance fees to the temples, to the museums, and things like that, and that cost me about 650. It could have been more, but because of that treaty thing, I don't know what it's called, but South Africans have this thing where they where they pay local Egyptian entrance fees, and not the tourists' fees. So it was cheaper for us actually. I did mention it in my previous video. We did a tipping kitty, which was about 1,200 rand. I did mention the tipping kitty in my previous video, so if you need more information, you can just go back to the 50% off video that I did. You can just learn more about the tipping kitty, but we spent about 1,200 rand. So I hope I covered everything. And so for the total, guys, I just basically, to make things easier, I've just rounded everything off to the nearest whole rand. So if it's 390, I'll just put 400 rand, just to make things easier for the purpose of this video. So the total that I have is 26,350. That's the total amount of money that I've spent on the King Ramses tour for 14 days in Egypt, including everything. I hope that is enough to enlighten you guys to plan your trips better. For those who follow me on social media would know that I had promised to make another video as well to basically explain how I saved up that money. So I'll just make another video to basically explain how I've split that amount over 6 months to make it easier for me to not feel 26,000 rand coming out of my budget at one go. It would have been a nightmare actually, but I hope you guys found this video very informative, and if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to just send me a message on Instagram, on Facebook. Yeah, so like I always say, I hope you are a subscriber. If not, subscribe. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I hope to release many more videos soon. Thank you.